Hi everyone, good evening. So, this is part two on pointers, and इसके पिछले part में we have already discussed a few things about pointers, like how to declare pointer and pointers basically internally work कैसे करते हैं and all that. Last video में when I was discussing, तो मैंने आपको बताया था कि pointers कैसे हमारे लिए यूजफुल है, right? So basically, a pointer can store the memory address of other variable and how it can basically simulate this call by reference type of thing in C, right? So अगर आपने pointers की वो पहले वाली वीडियो नहीं देखी तो आई हाईली एनकरेज यू कि आप प्लीज पहले जाके वीडियो देखें और उसके बाद इस वीडियो पे शिफ्ट करें. So आज के लेक्चर में आई एम गोइंग टू टेल यू मोर अबाउट पॉइंटर्स. सो लेट्स सी फ्यू ऑफ द थिंग्स. जैसे कि ऑर्डिनरी वेरिएबल साइज जो होता है वो डिपेंड करता है उसके डेटा टाइप पे. Now, whenever we declare a variable, for example, int x, char b, something like that, तो हमारा जो वेरिएबल का साइज है कि वो कितनी रेंज की वैल्यू को अपने अंदर स्टोर कर सकता है, that basically depends on its data type, right? But in case of pointer variables, size does not depend upon its data type. Rather, it depends upon the architecture. So basically, a 64-bit machine will always create 8 bytes of pointer variables. This is the standard, right? But why is that? आप बोलोगे कि अगर पॉइंटर डिपेंड ही नहीं करता है डेटा टाइप पे, then why do we have to declare pointers with the data type? What is the need of that? Now let's discuss it. So that is because it tells the pointer to understand the value correctly. इसका क्या मतलब हुआ? For instance, as we know that pointer will always store base address of the variable declared of some type. Okay? क्या मतलब है इसका? मैं अभी बताता हूँ. मान लो हमारे पास एक वेरिएबल है a of type int and we have also declared a pointer type of variable. Okay. Now a वेरिएबल को पता है कि मैं integer टाइप का हूँ and it knows that I need to use 4 memory blocks in the memory in order to store some value, whatever user or right user will assign me. Okay. Now, so when I'm saying p is equals to ampersand of a address of a, that means मैं a का address p pointer में insert कर रहा हूँ. Now this p pointer will point to this a memory address, right? Point to this a variable. Now I'm storing the first address of the 4 memory blocks reserved by the variable a. तो basically जब एक variable a वैल्यू स्टोर कर रहा है, ठीक है, मेमोरी में, तो बेसिकली उसका जो फर्स्ट मेमोरी ब्लॉक का एड्रेस होगा दैट इज एक्चुअली गोइंग इनसाइड द पॉइंटर वैल्यू. ओके. नाउ सपोज अब इस p के पास तो एड्रेस है इस मेमोरी ब्लॉक का, फर्स्ट मेमोरी ब्लॉक का, विच इज 1000, राइट? नाउ व्हेन आई एम असाइनिंग अ वैल्यू, फॉर एग्जांपल आई से स्टार p is equals 4, so basically this star p will get the 4 and it will try to store this 4 inside this a variable because this pointer p points to a memory location, right? So 4 वैल्यू इन 4 मेमोरी ब्लॉक्स को यूज करके स्टोर होगी, right? Now how do p will know how many bytes or memory blocks I need to use to store this particular value? उसको कैसे पता, right? That is because the pointer p was itself declared as int type. ठीक है. So now this pointer knows that he has to work with 4 bytes or 4 blocks of memory because it is in type, right? तो मेरे कहने का मतलब ये है कि हमने पॉइंटर को इंटीजर टाइप का सिर्फ इसलिए डिक्लेयर किया बिकॉज पॉइंटर शुड नो वट एवर वैल्यू आई विल गेट, it basically knows how many bytes or basically how many memory blocks I need to use or basically I can access. तो जब इसके पास बेस एड्रेस है and it knows कि मैं इंटीजर टाइप हूँ, so it automatically infer that मुझे 1001, 1002 and 1003 ब्लॉक्स यूज करके, इन 4 ब्लॉक्स को यूज करके I have to store the value 4, right? Now imagine if pointers are not declared using data type. ओके, सपोज करो कि अगर हम डेटा टाइप्स के साथ इसको डिक्लेयर ना करते, सो नाउ इमेजिन दैट हमारे पास एक कैरेक्टर टाइप का वेरिएबल है बी. ओके, एंड आई एम स्टोरिंग द एड्रेस ऑफ बी टू द पी. नाउ p will point what? P will point to the b memory location, and it has only one block because character takes 1 byte of memory. So it has the memory address of 2000. So this p will store 2000, right? When I'm assigning the value 5, this 5 literal is basically integer type, right? So pointer, because we have not declared it with any data type, pointer will think that, okay, whatever data I'm getting, I need to use that much of memory blocks in order to store that data. So integer by default in C language takes 4 bytes. So by default, pointer will know that I have to use 4 bytes of memory blocks, 4 memory blocks to store this file. But this B address can only have one memory block, right? तो वो illegally further जो 2001, 2002, 2003 होगा उसको भी यूज करने की कोशिश करेगा and try to store the value 5, which is basically illegal, right? So that is why pointers needs to be declared of the type of which they are going to store the memory address of. Okay, तो अगर एक pointer p एक integer type के variable का address store कर रहा है, so pointer should also be declared as of the same type, right? I hope you have got the clarity on this. Also, there is another interesting thing, क्योंकि जब हम arrays discuss कर रहे थे, so I've told you कि why arrays basically index start at the position 0. Okay, अभी समझते हैं क्यों. Okay, यहाँ पे नोटिस करो कि मैंने एक array declare किया है a with the size of 10. Okay, and I've also declared a pointer p of type integer. ठीक है, so internally this particular array will be of this much size. The consecutive memory blocks would be 1000, 1004, 1008. Why there is a gap of 4 bytes? Because array is of integer type, and we know by default integer takes 4 bytes of memory. So 1000 के बाद 0th index के बाद there will be 1004, 1008, and so on. Okay. Now we know that when pointer is basically trying to store the address of some memory block, it will always store what? The first address of the memory block, right? So here at this particular memory block, the address is 1000. So internally, this P will store what? 1000, right? Okay. Now, जब हम ऐसे लिखते हैं ना, a of subscript 0 or any other value, any other index value, so internally C programming इसको resolve कैसे करती है? Something like this, ऐसे. तो a of 0 क्या बनेगा? Dereference operator, parenthesis, pointer, the first location, 1000 plus the index value, which is 0. 1000 plus 0 is of course 1000. So that is why we can get the first element of the array. Now imagine if this array will start from the element 1, okay, the number 1. So a of 1 would be internally what? P, which is basically 1000. 1000 plus 1 would be what? 1004, right? So 1000 plus 1 would be what? 1004. So I will never get the first value. I will always end up going to the second value, right? So that is why we start counting from 0 so that internally it will be easy, and basically the arithmetic becomes straightforward, that the first element should be at position 0 so that we can basically, when we add this particular thing to the memory address of whatever pointer is saving, so basically we can get the first element from the array and so on. So basically this is the pointer arithmetic. Okay, this is what? Pointer arithmetic. Okay, so that is why the index value of array always start from 0, because internally इसको ऐसे रिजॉल्व होना होता है। तो अरिथमेटिक, पॉइंटर अरिथमेटिक इजी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड हो जाए, दैट इज वाई वी आर डूइंग समथिंग लाइक दिस। ओके, that was few of the things about the pointers. Now the only thing which remains is practice. Okay, so practice a lot. Okay, hacker rank पे जाइए, uh, other platforms पे जाइए, and please solve the coding questions. And if there is any doubt, please let me know. Ask in the comments. I'll definitely answer you. So thank you for attending this class. If you have any doubts, please reach out to me. So let's keep it till here. Thank you. Thank you so much.